You know what? We're recording. Now you got
having
caught at 4K.
Oh, you didn't record that. And the
It's
world
recorded.
will never know what I just said.
The horrific things you just said.
The horrific things I just said.
So off to a great start today.
Hey
So-
guys, welcome back to episode 2 of our podcast. Did we come up with a name
No.
on the break?
No, we did not.
No, we did not.
Also, the first episode has not yet been posted
Yeah.
as of this recording. It's currently been a week, and I spent 15 hours trying to get it to work in Premiere Pro, and it did not work.
Yeah.
So, hopefully you see that one before you see this one.
Hopefully. Yeah. So we read some of your comments, and I think the biggest suggestion...
We didn't read any comments.
We didn't read your comments. Nobody's
So-
watching.
Josh, how are you feeling today?
Are you genuinely curious?
No.
Well, because this could be a story that I talk about.
Oh, great.
Remember when we didn't have any stories
Yeah,
last week and I had
yeah.
to carry the entire episode?
I don't remember that.
So yesterday, I got my second dose of the coronavirus vaccine. I got it from Moderna. I don't know if you've heard of it, a little company. And in about a week, I will be fully protected from coronavirus.
Well, it's a great story.
If you're wondering how I'm feeling fine. Little side effects, but I'm a little tired today. So if I'm not my full quirky,
Handsome.
I'm equally handsome.
Equally handsome.
If I'm not, at 100% today, that's why, and it's nothing to do with who I am as a person.
Which is, how are you as a person normally?
Good.
Good. You heard it here first, folks. He's good as a person.
Well,
Alright, well, this episode has so far been yet another disaster. Our setup has devolved in quality. It was possible.
Oh,
We have done the impossible with the podcast. We have gone backwards.
we came out really strong with the first episode, and Eli lost all of his equipment to gambling, right?
Yes.
He gambled it away.
The bank foreclosed on my equipment.
Yeah, it was really
On
tough.
the bank foreclosed my tripod.
And soon they're going to discover he's not actually a student here, and we're not even going to have this room anymore. So.
Yes. Well, we'll be recording from outside.
So that'll be the theme of our podcast, is just progressive
That's an exponential decline.
decline.
You can watch us descend into insanity live.
Yeah. That would be kind of
for
fun.
your
though.
entertainment.
What if this was like a scripted podcast, and like that was like the theme, is that
Oh.
like we just like devolved into insanity?
I like how you even mentioned the possibility of us putting any prep work in beforehand.
Yeah.
As if
Because
there's an idea that we would put any effort into writing something to have.
Because we're our personalities carry the show, right? Right?
Right? He needs some reassurance. Please help him.
In the comments.
Drop in the comments.
Because we read all of your comments really
Yeah.
carefully.
Tell 'em
and
about the ones
we
on the
love
last video.
suggestions. Oh, we love the support from the last video.
Yes.
It was awesome. The amount, it's just like 5,000 views on our first video.
Yeah, wow.
And 6,000 likes. I didn't even think that was possible.
It's not.
Yeah. Which is why I didn't think it was possible. But like, thanks for all the support that we've been getting.
Okay, here's a good segment. How many views do you think our first podcast will get?
Literally, well, let's see. We got.
Because in the last episode, if you're watching this, I assume you watched the first one. We had 3 viewers that we predicted.
Yeah.
We had Adam Guan, your professor.
Sort of.
Okay.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda and Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Those were our 3.
So-
and we also said our second episode would be broadcast from the International Space Station.
So we went back on.
And instead, we lost our mic.
I'm guessing we haven't aired the first episode, but I'm guessing that we went back on both of those promises.
Yes.
I know that we went back on
And-
the International Space Station.
And we went back on the promise when we said this was going to be a good podcast.
That we did.
I'm just kidding. You know what? We never said that because we're honest.
Because we're honest. Except for the bit we just did, where we
Yeah.
were just saying, whatever.
Thanks for ruining for the viewers.
Genuinely though, how many viewers do you think we're gonna get?
Genuinely.
I think we're gonna get our friends, or at least like 3 of our friends, to
Mhm.
watch like the first 5 minutes.
Wow. A bold prediction.
Do you get views on like the first 5 minutes of something, or do they have to watch the whole
Well,
thing? to get a
usually.
view?
Well, no,
It's like
if you click
clicks.
on it all, you get a view.
You get a view. Okay, that's nice.
The problem is nobody's going to stay.
Yeah.
When you say the first 5 minutes, you really mean the first 5 minutes.
So how far are we in right now?
There's nothing there. I don't know what you're looking at.
The time.
Oh.
We're like 5 minutes in. So I'd like to say bye to all of our people who are tuning
Yeah,
in for
see
the first
everybody
5
who's
minutes.
leaving.
It was great. For
Thank
the
you.
true fans, we'll be sticking around for another 25
It's like a bonus episode.
to answer questions.
Well, because the first 5 minutes were so good. Do we even need another 25?
I don't know. We could probably cut it off
Let's
here.
see. What do we cover in the first 5 minutes? We lost all the equipment. The episode's already shit. We spent
Vaccine. I got my vaccine.
Josh told his incredibly interesting story.
I'm
And we
doing what I can
discussed
for
how
the
we
time.
argued for the last half an hour while I tried to figure out the microphone setup.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
good stuff so far.
So good stuff so far.
Should we get to the actual
Let's
topic
get to
of
the
episode?
content of the
Okay.
episode.
Alright, tell them about what we got planned for today.
Oh boy, we got a doozy planned for today. We're rating our favorite ska bands of the 1990s. Starting with number 1. I don't think I could name you a single ska band.
I don't even know what ska is.
You know, it's like music, you know?
It's like punk, right? Is it?
You know music?
I know music, yeah, I've heard of it.
It has like trumpets. It's like,
you know music.
I'm gonna cue up some ska. Is that a bad idea?
No, 'cause we're
Yeah,
gonna
we're gonna
claim.
get copyrighted.
we're gonna get claimed on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like happy 90s trumpet.
How are you describing it if you don't know a single band?
I know what it sounds like. One of them has the number 3000 in it.
Okay.
I might be. Don't quote me on that.
I looked it up. 3,000 ska.
Yeah.
It sounds like a unit of like measurement.
We
How much
learned
can you
about
lift? I can lift 3,000 ska.
ska. Yeah, we learned about this in 7th grade music class. We did like a tour of American music, and ska came up
Clearly,
with grunge.
Clearly, you retained a lot.
Ska was a late 90s trend, whereas grunge was an early 90s trend.
Interesting.
Actually, I think ska was early 90s too.
So, do you know anything about this?
Let's
even
talk
know
about
it's
grunge. I
Let's
know,
talk about something you know
I know
about.
a little bit more about grunge.
You know, it's okay because nobody's watching now anyway. We're at the 7th
We are,
mark.
it's-
We're,
yeah.
we're well past. when
Even
people
the
are-
true fans are gone.
Yeah, which are none.
It's just none. Yeah.
Even Lin-Manuel is gone at this point.
Violin.
Sadly.
Damn. Well, it's kind of it's a liberating feeling that nobody's watching us.
It is. It's
Because we
good.
can just do whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something controversial.
That's not.
No, let's do it.
All right, tell me your thoughts.
Well, give me a subject.
All right. Well, okay, so this is a good area to talk about. So we're going into the big issues,
Yeah.
right?
Part
Politics, religion.
of religion and
All right.
politics.
So which
Do you think
religions do you think are
religion-
invalid?
To be honest,
Name your worst religion. Worst religion, in your opinion.
I don't want to say it, but I do have an answer. Is that bad?
Tune in next week to find out.
No, I'll just say it.
No, don't say it.
So,
No, don't say it.
it's one of the branches of Christianity,
Oh boy.
but I'm not going to say which one. I like
Drop it in
Christianity
the
as
comments
an
below.
idea. Drop in the comments, favorite, least favorite branch of Christianity.
Boy, this is really great.
This is great, yeah, we're talking about the big. Now, should we talk about the small?
All right, least favorite brand of button.
Oh, boy. Couldn't even tell you.
Worst color of thumbtacks.
Oh,
I'd say the wooden ones. I hate wooden thumbtacks.
I've never seen wooden, like
Yeah,
actually
some of
made
those-
of wood.
Yeah, like a little like wood one. I mean, they're probably better quality, but I like the plastic.
Well,
Clear
yeah.
plastic's the way to go.
You like clear plastic?
I like clear plastic.
See, with the clear plastic, I'm afraid that I'll like drop it on the floor and then step on it.
Mm.
I like the
Does that
quirky
hap-
colors.
Does that
They're
happen too
red.
often?
It happened once. Oh, here's a fun
Did it
story.
really?
Well, I didn't step on it, but me and Troy, my roommate, his name is Troy,
Oh, interesting.
and I just gave away all of his information. Now
Wow.
people are gonna stalk him online.
I don't think anyone's interested in stuff,
yeah.
Troy.
He's not that interesting. But me and Troy, not like me, obviously, because I'm interesting.
Yeah, go stalk
Um,
him. Link below for his home address. Check out in the comments below.
Yeah, so Troy and I dropped thumbtacks on the floor. I had like a tiny container of clear thumbtacks,
Okay.
and I gave them to Troy
Mm.
because he needs to hang something on his board.
Interesting.
And then he had them on his desk, and he knocked them down, and they all fell on the floor.
Wow.
So we scrambled.
Did you step on one?
No.
Wow. Another banging story from Josh.
I'm carrying this conversation.
Really
Eli.
carrying it with the most boring stories I've heard.
You know what? We're gonna get into a real story.
Okay.
You want a real story?
Let's hear it. What's the real scoop?
Let's talk about the time that me and my friends were in the basement of this building, and we stalked Eli on Snap Maps.
Oh my god.
And we made, this is a fun story, actually.
Oh, so much fun. I had so much fun in this
For
story.
exactly one of us.
Yeah.
So, it was a Friday night, right? Or was it Saturday?
No,
It might
like
have been
today.
Saturday.
It was Saturday night, I believe.
It was Saturday.
'Cause we
So
drank
it
at
was
night.
unlike today.
Yeah.
But it was a Friday night, we were in the basement, partying, college stuff, throwing an absolute rager.
Oh yeah.
We go
It was
upstairs
incredibly
at,
exciting.
at the late hour of 11:30.
Yeah. We wrapped it up because it was so
Wrapped it
warm.
up
We were
quick.
doing nothing, and all of us went back to our rooms to do homework.
Yeah. So Eli goes to his room at 11:30.
Yeah.
He's in his room by 11:30. At about 11:45, we knock on his door and say, Eli, can you get us some water?
And at this point, I was like, okay, this is fun. They came back. I'll say hi to them, and then they'll go.
Yeah, that's not
Right.
what happened. You didn't
Yeah.
open the door.
Oh, that's true.
That was when we knocked on the door and said, Eli, we're thirsty. Can we please have some water?
Yeah.
And your light was on.
But luckily,
we
I'm
knew
so
you were
generous of
there.
spirit that what did I do?
Nothing,
Oh,
if I recall.
interesting. Well, you know what it was? Well, let me defend myself here.
Sure, please.
You said you were thirsty, right?
Yes.
And I didn't want you to talk to me and continue to exhaust your voice, which would only make you more thirsty.
Mm.
So I said the kindest thing to do would be to ignore you and let you stand outside my door as you slowly grow more and more thirsty.
So, despite the fact that you did have water that you could have given us, which would have made us less thirsty,
I barely had 24 bottles of water.
they're sitting right up there in the corner, by the way.
Those aren't mine. I'm holding them for a friend. I can't be legally implicated for having water.
Anyways, so at about 11:45, Eli doesn't answer the door.
Mm.
We move along. Then at around 12:30-ish, we're watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This was when Falcon and the Winter Soldier was still coming out. So
Yeah.
we watched the new one that Friday.
You're going to date our podcast now. You know this is being released in 2 years.
In 2 years. Well, yeah. Give some historical context.
Yeah.
So we look at Snap Maps at 11:30. No, 12:30. This is important. And it says that
And
Eli
tedious.
is in a building, like 11-minute walk from this building
Mm,
that we're in right now. And it says he was there an hour ago.
that's crazy.
And we know this to be impossible, right? Because we were with him at 11:30.
Sure.
So then we do a lot more research.
Mm.
We find the address of the building. At some point we went to like rentahouse.com or something to find out who lived in the building to see if it was anybody that we knew, which it wasn't. So we were
Wow.
really just looking up strangers
Mm.
who
Not the
lived in
first
this
time.
random place. Yeah, I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah. And that'll be you, the viewers, when I give you Josh Love's home address.
Yeah, participation. Yeah. So then comes the fun part of the night. Eli will then at like 1:30, when it says he's been there for 2 hours, he snaps me,
Mm.
and suddenly he's back in West Fairchild, the building that we're in.
Thanks for giving away my home address.
Suddenly he's back in this building, and Snap Maps gets it perfectly right. So
What
we're a
building?
little, the building that we're currently in.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay.
Link down below for my
link
home
down below
address.
for Eli's address. Room. What is this room?
Oh,
I
oh.
could have said it. It says it on the door. But anyway,
Thanks.
on Snap Maps it says he's here, and it gives a really specific here. So we have a feeling it wasn't just a mistake that it put him in the building 11 minutes away. We found out later that it just was a mistake,
Wow.
and we made a really big deal out of nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Although we are just kind of taking Eli's word for it.
It's true.
So we still kind of believe that he's up to something nefarious. But anyway,
That doesn't sound like me.
the fun part of the night was when we decided to go confront Eli about this this incident of him being in another building and
Yeah.
sneaking away from us.
And this was at 12:30 you came and confronted me?
No, this was at like 2:30. 3, yeah.
Yeah.
We
3
waited a
a.m.
little bit.
3 a.m.
We were
yeah.
in community. We FaceTimed our friend in the other building to get his opinion
I
for
see.
a while.
Contacted the FBI.
Contacted the
Homeland
FBI, did a
Security.
lot more research, went to Google Maps.
Interesting. Do you scope out the location yourself?
We were going to do that the next
You
morning.
get like a
That
black
was the
van and
plan.
drive in there?
Yeah, well, that was the eventual plan.
Okay.
So then at about 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mm.
we go up to Eli's room, and we wait outside Eli's. Well, we knock first, and we say, Eli, we see the lights on again. First of all, Eli's awake at 3 o'clock,
Mm.
which is,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
not surprising. Not totally surprising.
Well, it was a Saturday night.
It was a Saturday night, and the party ended at 11:30.
Yeah.
And Eli said, and I quote, when the party ended at 11:30, I'm tired, I'm going to bed.
Mm.
So then he went in his room, locked himself in his room for another 3 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
I wasn't tired. I was tired.
he was
you.
tired of our company.
Yeah.
Um,
Yours, to be specific.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
So
eventually
you can
got-
imagine my enthusiasm when at 3 a.m. he shows up with his whole posse in tow
It was
and
two
starts
other
banging
people.
down my door as I'm just trying to enjoy a peaceable evening.
Yeah,
A peaceful
I
morning.
think evening ends at a certain point.
A peaceable morning, 3 a.m. I'm
Yeah.
trying to enjoy. I'm enjoying my chocolate
We
milk,
knock on his
my
door.
Tostitos.
No answer again. You think like we are his friends, technically. On paper.
Legally.
We are your legally.
Legally.
Yeah, professionally we are his friends.
Associates, I would prefer.
Yeah, so you'd think he would answer his door to his associates,
Mm.
but he didn't. Which, he didn't answer the door when we were begging
Yeah.
for water when we were dying of thirst.
That's true.
So I'm not
But
surprised.
that was out of generosity of spirit. We determined that, right?
We did determine this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so then we go to more aggressive tactics. I send
Well, just a little increment.
I send my
Notch
two
it up.
companions to
Your two cronies.
my two
You
cronies,
dispatched
my
your two
bodyguards to go outside of the building, and to what was it again? To throw rocks. Was it rocks? It was rocks.
It
to
was
throw
rocks.
rocks at Eli's window
cronies. Yeah.
in the hopes that this would spark a conversation
Hmm.
and lead him to give up and say, you know what, I'm just gonna leave my room and talk to them.
There's a lesson in there. There's no better way to motivate a discourse than to throw rocks.
Then to throw rocks,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but stones also start
Stones
discourse.
also start conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that. So anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah, so then at this point, once enough rocks had been thrown, I get a very aggressive text from Eli saying something along the lines of, fuck off, I'm trying to sleep. And I can swear because I'm quoting him.
As opposed to.
Yeah, because this is a PG podcast.
yeah,
right?
exactly. It's for
Are
the
we going to get
kids.
demonetized?
No.
But you can swear when you're quoting someone, even if it is somebody on the podcast.
Send that into YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
See if they'll let you appeal that one.
See what they think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I realized at this point, it's time. Oh, goodness. This has
Oh,
never
wow.
happened before.
Who's knocking on my door?
Who could it be?
Garrett.
Garrett?
We're live
What a
recording our
surprise.
podcast right now.
Garrett, wait, come say hi.
You want to come in?
No.
What? Garrett?
Sorry.
No,
Garrett,
wait.
come back.
This is great. No, Garrett, make a guest appearance. He didn't want to make a guest appearance.
He did not want to make a guest appearance. He'll be on in a future episode.
He will. We'll book Garrett.
We'll book him.
We'll book him.
He's a tough talent to get.
You just saw he walked away from us, turned us
Literally.
down point blank.
Yeah. You're used to that though. Usually it's with women though.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
a
man,
man
sometimes.
every now and then.
Yeah.
Um,
Man slips in there.
a man.
There'd be no way of knowing.
The Office. And couldn't get through an episode without an Office reference.
I like how I'm the one who keeps breaking and making the reference.
Yeah, well,
Unbelievable.
somebody's got it.
True.
So that's about the end of that story.
Well, you didn't finish the story.
Did I not?
Oh wait. Oh yeah, I sent you the text.
You sent me
I'm gonna
the
be
aggressive
honest.
text.
That text was me holding back. I was gonna send you a text saying I'm literally gonna go outside and deck you in the face right now.
Well, that would have, accomplished our goal of getting you to leave your room.
Yeah, but I'd leave my room and I'd leave your face in pieces.
Yeah, and then I guess you'd go back in your room. So I
the
guess
funny
it
thing
would
is
have
about that is it was a
accomplished
completely empty threat because I don't know how to throw a punch and I'm pretty much completely defenseless.
our goal. Is that true?
Oh,
You're a big guy.
Yeah.
You can
Big and
throw the
small.
body.
I can throw the body. That's
Big and
for
small.
my body slaying you.
Yeah.
Leave my room right now or I'm gonna body
I
slam
mean,
you.
I don't think it would be difficult for you to assert your physical dominance over me.
Mm.
Let's put it that way.
But it's all posturing, like a peacock. Like I make myself big, but there's really nothing there.
Nothing there. It's all flash.
Yeah.
No substance.
Well, that's a little hurtful. I got substance.
Very
Very
but you don't have
substantive.
subscribers on YouTube.
Well, now we definitely don't. If we had any before, they're all gone.
We'll cut that out in post.
We're not cutting anything out of post. I'm not going through that again. This
Oh,
is
man.
unbelievable. Another episode that is unusable completely.
Jeez. We told a good story. That was a fun story.
Oh, the vaccine one? Yeah, that was great.
That was a great story.
That one. Thanks for telling that in the first 5 minutes too, to really keep the viewers engaged. You always want the first 5 minutes are the most important because that's when the viewers
That's
are
when the
deciding
viewers
whether or not to
decide.
stick with the video, and I think you really.
That's why I brought out the big guns earlier.
Right, the big ones. Yeah, I was worried that you bring out the big story too early, but I think you pulled it off.
Yeah. We'll put like a link at the beginning that says like skip to an interesting story.
Yeah, or skip to Josh's home address.
Skip to the end,
Oh.
so that it's over.
Yeah, that'd be a good button. I would use that one. The worst thing is I'm gonna have to rewatch this entire thing to make sure that it played properly.
Yikes.
Yeah. That's
So anyway,
sad for me.
yeah. So, any other interesting stories?
Wonderful. We're at the 20-minute mark. We've already run out of stories.
Well,
Okay, here's something that I was thinking about discussing.
Yeah.
This is something for us to discuss for next episode.
okay.
Which is,
Well,
Oh,
I have problems with that, but continue.
with what? With
Just the fact that
just
we're
the
in
idea
an
of-
episode and you're already planning for next episode. Why
Well-
don't we just talk about it this episode?
Well, I think it'd be important to plan.
Yeah,
I'm
but
all
we
about-
could do
I'm
that
all-
when we're not live, recording.
But the viewers are interested.
In us planning for the next episode, I feel like they would be more interested if we didn't tell them what we were gonna do next episode.
I think planning is more interesting than content.
Okay, but then
Well,
when we do it in the
okay,
next episode, they
plan-
won't subscribe.
if we're gonna have to rank 'em.
Surprise.
Okay, fine. A good story's here. Then planning's there.
Cool. A bad
Josh story.
A Josh story.
And Josh story's down here.
So what were you gonna say? What's your plan? What's your big plan
Okay,
for the next episode?
here's my plan. I was gonna say it only because I thought maybe people would be interested in commenting on it.
Sure.
The plan for next episode: talk about college.
That's stupid. Everybody talks about college. It's a bad idea. What
You know
about
what?
college would you talk about?
Anything interesting that happens?
That's what we're talking about. We are in college. Therefore, we're talking about college.
That's a good point.
I think that was a bad idea, Eli. And I'm not afraid to say
I'm
it.
hurt. I'm deeply hurt.
Yeah, and
Frankly.
I'm deeply disappointed.
Wow.
So, we're both feeling some deep emotions right now.
Yes.
Speaking of deep emotions, on the topic of big and small, what is the saddest you've ever been?
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right here,
That's-
right now.
That's the whole podcast.
What's the low point of your entire life?
Here. It's been a steady decline ever since I was born, and here it's just been a shoop.
I gotta say, I
Just-
walked into that
Yeah,
one.
it's true. No, you know what? I take that back. The lowest point of my life is gonna be having to watch this back and see all the terrible things that we've done in this episode. But that's how it be sometimes.
That's how it be.
There's a life lesson in there sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not usually.
Yeah. Not, arguably not now.
I would say people watch for the life advice.
Do we
give
give
them give
advice?
the life advice.
So-
This is a great segment. Life advice.
Life
with Josh.
advice with Josh. Like serious or like?
Yes. No, do one serious and one silly, and we'll let the viewers guess which one is which.
Okay. Serious life advice. I just watched season 4 of The Good Place.
Mm.
And I don't
this-
wanna spoil
when this podcast
anything.
comes out, that will have come out 15 years ago.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Don't wait around for anything.
Mm.
Just don't wait.
If your
you
friend
know,
is like 5 minutes late, just leave.
just leave.
There's no point in waiting.
Time
for
is
them.
precious,
Mm.
and you've got your whole life. Just experience things.
Yeah. How long did you wait outside my door at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, but it's because we were. How
You had a goal in mind.
we could talk about we had a goal, and we could talk about the fact that you left us at 11:30 to go be in your room for 3 hours, which is
That doesn't sound like me.
interesting.
Yeah.
The whole story was just a lie. We were
Okay.
making up that
Yeah.
story, by the way.
I mean, we did say in the first one that we needed people to send in stories
Yeah.
that we could steal,
So
but nobody would think to send in
big
something
thanks
that horrible
to
and boring.
your mama 69 for that awesome story. That wasn't very funny.
It wasn't.
We'll cut that in post.
You know
What would
you
a
know what I'm gonna do?
funnier
I'm gonna go back. I'm
comment
gonna
be?
cut all my bad jokes in post, and
And
I'm gonna
just
put all of
keep
yours
all
in.
of mine.
And it's gonna be I control the narrative. Do you understand this?
Oh, you have so much
I'm the
power.
one in charge. I'm
I'm genuinely
now you're concerned.
I'm genuinely
Now
concerned.
You're realizing the massive mistake you've made
Yeah,
by allowing me to be in charge of everything
yeah,
and by opening your mouth in the first place.
yeah. I shouldn't have said that. I really do regret saying
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Say it again.
I'm not gonna say it again.
If you want to send hate mail, Josh's address will be linked below.
Awesome.
Or if you want to just come to his
Force
house
that
and just
in.
finish the job yourself.
That's what she said.
Wow. I didn't think it was possible, but we've gone somehow more downhill from your Mama 69 joke. I mean, it's stunning, frankly. I'm kind of impressed. I didn't think it was possible to descend to this level of low.
I thought that was funny.
Viewers.
And for reference, I didn't think the Your Mama 69 one was funny. So I do have somewhat of a sense.
You have some capacity?
I do have some capacity, some self-awareness.
Not much, but there's something there.
There's something there.
So
To
before
explore.
we finish, I want to hear your other piece of life advice. I
Oh,
assume that
yeah.
was a silly one because it was completely pointless.
Real piece of life advice.
Right. Keep it real.
Don't become an engineer.
Oh,
You'll be depressed and unhappy.
actually, on the subject of your completely inappropriate, unfunny joke, I got a 69 on my engineering midterm.
A 16?
A 69.
69.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Was
Fun.
that like before curve or after?
No comment.
Alrighty.
This is a tough test.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, I bet.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I got a 95 on my
Oh,
Jewish paper.
wow. How'd that paper become Jewish?
Converted.
Damn. Circumcised?
You know it.
Wow.
Oh, I should talk about my Jewish history class. We talk about really interesting
Wow.
things in my Jewish history class. Tune in
Name
next
of the
episode.
podcast?
God, first of all,
God's making an
according
appearance?
to Kabbalah,
We booked God?
God is both a man and a woman, and also God has a penis.
Damn.
That's like legit. Like that's what we're learning.
Is that canon? I don't think
That's
I've read it in the Bible.
canon. It's not in the Bible,
Where does
but
it
that's
say that?
canon
Damn.
in Kabbalah theory.
Is that in the sequel, the Bible follow-up?
You're thinking of the Book of Mormon, but no.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Book of Mormon.
that's part 3 actually.
First chapter, God's
finishing
dick.
out the trilogy. No, but legit, we'll dive into that next episode. But that is legitimately what we're learning about in Jewish history class.
Wonderful.
God and his penis.
That's it?
Well, other things too. We read a lot of
all-
erotic
that's all.
poetry.
Are they also
This
on
is
God?
medieval Jewish history. This is like
There's a disturbing amount of genitals in
this
your,
is
in your history
750 to
class.
1492
Wow, that's a bright range.
Jewish history. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Lot
there's
of
a
things,
lot
yeah.
of genitals.
Yeah.
A lot of erotic poetry, some homoerotic poetry.
Wow. Open-minded.
Yeah, very open-minded.
Mm.
Progressive.
That's good. I mean, God. Hey.
If God's a woman, because God's a man and a woman,
So God's got a dick and a vagina.
is it proto-feminist?
Oh.
We can talk about that.
That explains
but
Jesus.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't. You're forgetting about
Drop a comment below.
marriage.
Alright.
Okay,
We got a
we got-
minute left. Let's wrap
We
this
got
up.
40 seconds to wrap this up.
This is completely unusable. To summarize,
Yeah.
Josh has deeply offended a myriad of different people. Religious people, racist people.
I've just offended people's sense of
racist
humor
people.
too.
I said racist people. You offended racist
Did
people.
I?
You offended races of people.
Yes.
And frankly, you've offended me with your jokes and the viewers for wanting me to pass the first 5 minutes.
So leave a comment about how you think I should be canceled from this
Yes,
podcast.
and leave a comment on how you
And
think
who
it's
you
better.
think should replace me
Yes.
after this tragic episode. And we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye. Forever.